ancient Greek religion and mythology, Pan is the god of the wild, shepherds and flocks, rustic music and impromptus, and companion of the nymphs. He has the hindquarters, legs, and horns of a goat in the same manner as a faun or satyr. Yes, the satyrs are half men, half goat. Even going back to the fauns, when you have the god Faunus, just going back to Pan. That's all. And Pan is a composite of Dionysus as well as the Bacchus, as well as the dog god Osiris, so on and so forth. The goat and the dog pretty much interchangeable in regards to the representation esoterically. With his homeland in rustic Arcadia, he is also recognized as a god of fields, groves, wooden glens, and often affiliated with sex. Yes, this is why you have these celebrities that come out and call themselves pansexuals, because pan means all. Like you got pantheon, pan means all. So they're letting you know that they have a proclivity for all things, you know. Because of this, Pan is connected to fertility and the season of spring. God of nature, the wild shepherds, flocks, and mountain wilds, and you see Pan teaching a young little boy how to play the pipes. Pan was a pederast. That's what this entity was, or whatever the hell this pagan figure was. Really going back to him, like these gods, they're not real gods. They just go back to people. People. That's all they do. That's all they are. They just go back to people. Excuse me. So Ham is what this, is inspired by. Ham and Cush. Pretty much going back to the ancient Hamites. Right? So it's very important for us to understand this because this is the prevalence of this world or this entertainment industry. You know, Roman equivalent Faunus, Inus, Hinduism equivalent Pushan, parents Hermes, daughter of Dryops or Penelope. Now, this is where you get hermaphrodite from. Hermes got together with Aphrodite, and you have the term hermaphrodite. And it's funny because when you look at the Baphomet, which is another composite of Pan, it has, that hermaphroditic vibration to it, with the man coming together with the woman. You got the breast that's on the goat god, the Baphomet, or the goat entity known as the Baphomet. You have the breast on it, as well as, the masculine feature. So you got the masculine coming together with the feminine. That's that hermaphroditic vibration. And Hermes, is the father of Pan. So it all ties together. In Roman religion and myth, Pan's counterpart was Faunus, a nature god who was the father of Bonidae, sometimes identified as Fauna. He was also closely associated with Sylvanus due to their similar relationships with woodlands. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Pan became a significant figure in Romantic movement of Western Europe and also in the 20th century neo-pagan movement. I'm going to touch on this further, but it's very important for us to understand that because that's what the inspiration is from. And the reason why it is because of the compositions and the understanding of, the fertility aspect, the sexual aspect. That's why this world is so sexual, because it goes back to Pan. Believe it or not, man. Believe it or not. Some people may hear this and say, oh, you tripping. But for those who understand the scriptures, we know that that's the case, man. It's all inspired by these pagan gods. That's what it is. Until the Most High sent His Son and everything changes in regards to the paradigm shift, this world is under the influence of paganism. Even when you take into account the days of the weeks, it's like this is a prison of paganism. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all pagan days, all go back to pagan gods. I went over this before, so it's very important that we understand, the vibration of the world we live in.
Sweetheart, did you call me? Oh, yes, Uncle Pete. Can you watch TJ for me? I need to run to the, I gotta run some air. I need to go to cleaners, and I should be coming back. Okay? All right, baby. Thank you.
You got it. You want me to spend a little bit of Michael Jackson time with the boy, huh? All right. Hello there, TJ. TJ, did you know I was best friends with Penn State Sandusky? They have a touch but don't tell policy.
Uncle Pete, I need you to do me a big favor. Please, can you do me a favor and watch TJ while I run to the bank?
No problem.
I'll be right back. Look, do whatever Uncle Pete asks you to do, okay? Be good. All right, thank you so much. If you need anything, just call me, okay? See you.
All right now.
I know y'all like that segue. Peep the segue, man. But R. Kelly just goes back to Peter Pan. We already understand the whole controversy surrounding Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish for that crazy skit, obscene skit, a skit that should not have been, but we already understand the world and how they trying to slowly but surely get you to pretty much accept these nonsensical aspects of this depravity, these agendas with, minor attractive peoples, in which it just has a connotation on it that goes back to pedophilia. It just is what it is. And R. Kelly and how he goes back to Peter Pan, Uncle Pete, the penis, all different aspects of depravity when it comes to that type of sexual connotation, pedophilia or pederasty, just giving those type of vibrations off. And then when you notice the connections where you see this image of R. Kelly and how it segues from Ari Spears putting the magazine over his eyes, that was in reference to R. Kelly, but it's all in the same melting pot, just in regards to the entertainment industry. It's just that they single out certain people, so it won't seem as if it's a cultural thing, but it is. It's a culture. It's an entertainment cesspool full of sick ass, sexually disturbed people. R. Kelly is no different. It's just that he was someone who was used to be the figure for it. They single out certain people so it takes away from, the belief of it being a cultural thing in the entertainment industry, which it is. Why would Cat Williams have an interview where he talks about how, it's easy for you to sell your soul or something like that, along the lines where he talks about how they make it easy after they sell their soul, as far as like making it believable that they didn't sell their soul. You know what I mean? Like he said something along the lines of that. Why would he say that? That should give you an understanding of what the entertainment industry is about right there. But still, you have simple-minded people who, you're a conspiracy theorist. I don't have time for that nonsense, but yeah, man, just wanted to go into this and segue it because it's just a perfect lead into the next subject, or pretty much the next topic, in which it has a lot to do with this subject in regards to pan or sexual depravity, going back to pederasty, pedophilia. The majority of this society in regards to the aspects of it is inspired by paganism. It just is. Especially the entertainment industry. The pagan god that hovers over the entertainment industry is Dionysus. Dionysus is another composite of Pan. Pan, Dionysus, the same thing. And Dionysus goes back to the sun god. The sun god also synonymous with the dog god Sirius or Sirius. With the understanding of the underworld, which represents Osiris, all synonymous. It's all paganism. That's what this world is all about. And when it comes to these subjects, these celebrities, they act it out. Especially when it comes to the programming aspect, pertaining to MK Ultra, in which I'm going to do a series on that. I already did part 1, but I want to drop that all in a bunch. So I'm going to be dropping that at least, 10 video series just in regards to the coverage of MK Ultra, going back to the book from Bryce Taylor, Thanks for the Memories. because it's all truth, and when it comes to this society, the truth is pretty much hidden. That's how Satan works. It's all trickery. That's how we have to understand the deception of this society. We can't always just look at it like he has to be in your face. Certain people just want the answers in their face. You got to be able to, crack certain codes. It's very important for us to understand it on that level so we won't become incredulous. You know what I mean? So just looking at this and how it connects with Pan, we understand that it's all based off of context in which the inspiration goes back to paganism. What's in the name? Artists often give themselves nicknames to reflect their identity. Yes, because that's part of the programming where they have many different subalters, many different identities, multiple personality disorder or DID. So all of that stuff is based in the subject when it comes to them being put under MK Ultra. That's what it is. Nicki Minaj, Eminem, Drake, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, T.I., all these motherfuckers allegedly, I gotta be more responsible. But it's the truth, man, because you have to pick up on certain things when it comes to the entertainment industry. Obviously, they're not gonna tell you. So you just gotta pick up on it. It's very important. What's in the name? Artists often give themselves nicknames to reflect their identity, revealing a part of their personality that they want to share with fans. It's something R. Kelly himself does, but in this case, his nickname has a more sinister connotation. And this is something I bring up a lot. Before getting into this is just, the coverage in regards to the video, but I always bring up the connection between R. Kelly and the god Pan, or the pagan god known as Pan, the Greek god known as Pan. Because he played the pipes, he lured the kids to him, and he would perform sexual acts on the kids, whether it be boy or girl. In the case of the girls, they will be known as nymphs. That's what they'd be known as. They'd be known as nymphs. So you had many different stories going back to the Greek god Pan when it comes to him playing the pipes and luring the kids to him, the groupies or the nymphs. In the case of a Dionysus or Bacchus, Dionysus, same thing. They had the Maenads. In the case of these celebrities, these rappers, they have the groupies. So they all play in that role of Pan in a way. They all play that role of Pan because Pan is an entertainer. Pan, he was the god of entertaining in regards to the music playing. And this is what rappers do. They entertain. They have groupies. It's the same thing. And they're also sexually fluid, just like Pan. Like when these rappers or these celebrities, they come out, they say they pansexual. That's part of their worship of Pan. And they soften it by saying that it's based in sexual fluidity because that's what Pan was. But Pan just means all. So they just telling you that they have a proclivity for all things sexually, whether it be boy, girl, whatever, man, woman, animal, object, whatever. That's seriously what it is, believe it or not. These things that go over people's heads, you can't limit yourself when it comes to your understanding. You can't look at it like just because you don't see it, it's not true. Like, you have to contextualize and understand the sinister world we live in. Of course, they're not going to show you that they drink blood. Of course, they're not going to show you that they sacrifice babies. And they're not going to show you all that stuff, but that's what they do. That's what they do. When they get together, they have these little meetings, they groves and whatnot. That's what they do. Believe it or not. R. Kelly, whose real name is Robert Kelly, doesn't just use his short and performing name. He's also called himself the Pied Piper of R&B. Yes, because he is related to Pan. Just like Michael Jackson, he always talked about the Netherlands or where Pan was from, Peter Pan, because Peter Pan is also a play on the Greek god Pan. Pan has these different offsprings in regards to these inspirations because Pan is the god of entertainment. In the entertainment industry, the reason why, there's this thing where a lot of people already have this understanding of the sexual nature of the entertainment industry is because it goes back to Pan. Pan is the Bacchus, Pan is Dionysus, and we already understand the sexual, relevance that goes with those pagan gods. That's why the entertainment industry is so sexual. And when I'm talking about the entertainment industry being sexual, I'm just talking about the aspect in which certain people got to bend over. They got to bend over because that's part of the Pan rituals, the Pan rites, the rites of the Bacchus. That's really what it is. That's really why they got to bend over and compromise themselves. Not only is it part of the humiliation aspect, but it's in reference to the gods that they worship. That's what it is. For over a decade, he's called himself the Pied Piper of R&B. In songs like the remix of Step in the Name of Love, he proudly sings the moniker, "It's the Pied Piper of R&B, y'all." The Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly delves into the allegations of sexual abuse and relationships with minors that have followed R. Kelly for decades. And the first episode is entitled "The Pied Piper of R&B," with show commentators noting that the nickname is reflective of these horrific allegations. So what exactly is the Pied Piper, and why would Kelly take on this persona? See, this article doesn't necessarily go, deeper. It doesn't really go back. It just goes back to this, just when it comes to the origin of the Pied Piper of Hamelin or Haman. But it really goes back to the Greek god Pan. But this just shows you that this draws inspiration from the Greek god Pan. That's all it is. The origins of the Pied Piper of Haman or Hamelin or whatever, however you pronounce that, trace back to Germany during the Middle Ages. The reason why I say Haman is because I looked up the pronunciation of it, and I'm guessing that the L right there is silent, so it could be Haman or Hamelin, whatever. A man in colorful clothing comes to a rat-infested town to lure the vermin away with his magical pipe. It works, but the citizens refuse to pay for his services as promised. In retaliation, the piper uses his magic pipe to lure all the children away from their homes and follow him. The Lost Boys and Peter Pan is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And mind you, it says that it goes back to the Middle Ages and rats. This is what they try to tell you about the bubonic plague, that it was rats that started it. It was not no damn rats. It was the Caucasus people, the people that come from the Caucasus Mountains, where they had diseases, and they brought it to the people that was in Europe first, the original people of Europe, who were black people. They killed off most of the people, and that's how they were able to conquer that land for the most part. There are several versions of this basic story popularized by the Brothers Grimm. Robert Browning famously wrote about the cautionary tale of the piper in his 1842 poem. "I'm able by means of a secret charm to draw all creatures living beneath the sun, that creep or swim or fly or run after me, so as you never saw, and I chiefly use my charm on creatures that do people harm. The mole and toad and newt and viper, and people call me the Pied Piper." And you see, the Pied Piper, aka Peter Pan. The Pied Piper is pretty much Peter Pan, goes back to the Greek god Pan. That's why he wore the green. Just going back to the beginning of the video where you saw Dave Chappelle dancing with the goat legs, and he was doing this little dancing motion where he was playing the flute because he went into that program. He went into that altar. They worship the goat god. They worship the goat god. They worship the goat god. It's very important that we understand these things, man. When these people say God, it's not in reference to the Most High. It's never, ever, 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 ever in reference to the Most High. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.